Hey folks, welcome back to my office and another video of Habits of a Horseman. And today I have a little bit of a story that we're going to go through. This is a horse that just arrived in for training, and the owner was having some trouble with her getting emotional, kind of springtime stuff, emotional just in general when being ridden, and especially cantering. And so right now I'm going to start off with working with her on the ground a little bit, and I just wanted to talk you through some of the things that I like to do to test a horse out and see where they're at, see where their confidence is, see what their understanding of yields is at before I get on them, and we'll go from there. So here we go. What I like to check out in a horse is how easily can they walk a circle around me and keep their rib cage bent. I call this the 3-circle game. I have another video on it, and this is a really key element to start, so that's pretty good. So the reason this is important is because a lot of horses, it's a natural prey animal default to have their ribs bent towards the person and kind of be in a counter shape. And so we're going to challenge them to act more like partners by having them shaped up towards me. Yeah, with just a little bit of flexion in her head and neck. Very good. Quit there. And then I want to see how well does she read my energy as I bring the flag back up to her here. She followed that really nicely. So she read the difference in my intention between driving her around and just asking her to be comfortable with the flag here. Passed that very good. Another one that's really important is to test how well they understand following a feel. Whoa, there we go. There's a little bit of a hole. So I'm asking her now to back up with her head down. You can see she did really well with just her head down, but when I add in back up, you can see we run into a little trouble. There we go. So that's a little bit of a bracy spot. We're going to turn the corner here and keep going. And it's not a big deal that she's getting her head away from me there to start with. We're just going to keep at it here. And sometimes I'll release when there. I released a little bit when her feet moved, and I released a little bit when her head went down. There, she found it. Let's see if she'll have a little bit of a lick and chew. So that lick and chew represents that she just got more comfortable. She switched nervous systems, and her system is turning loose now, coming back to the parasympathetic nervous system, and she's getting more comfortable. So that's the best way to describe that. A lot of people say they just learned something, which I think she already knew how to do that. She just got tight and a little bit bound up when I asked her for that. And so I expect this one to go good because now she's not tight. There we go. Very good. So you can see how quickly that could get shaped up. Now another test that I like to do is to ask them to side pass also with their head down. So we're going to try that over here on the wall. And this one is a little bit more difficult in my opinion. So it'll be interesting to see if she does this or not. So again, a lot of people, they would just side pass their horse on the wall, but I want to see if she'll let me control her head, because the owner was saying she gets emotional, and so I have to ask her to do some things that are a little bit harder and require her to stay a little bit more comfortable and let me control her. Very nice. Very good. Good. If you're enjoying watching this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up. So we're going to take you through our first ride on her here. So far everything seems good. She stood still for me to mount her and bridled well. All that went really nice. And just like on the ground, I'm going to start with what's her flexion like here laterally. She's kind of overbending there a little bit. But just kind of getting the feel for it. But she seems to like, she wants to be really soft to that. Maybe a little too soft actually. Very good. Neck reining feels good. Neck reining is a good test for horses that know it, because a horse can know how to neck rein and not be willing to neck rein because it's such a light cue to see how nice they respond. So it shows, you know, how much they're kind of paying attention to the rider. Another thing I'm looking at is just their overall relaxation. How high do they carry their head? And one of the main things I'm looking for when I warm a horse up is to have them blow out and make that noise where they go right there, right on cue, where they just kind of blow out and let loose. And a lot of horses hold that tension in, and if I were to jump into some harder maneuvers, that tension would still be in there, instead of me just giving her a minute here to warm up. So the warm up is for the horse. So I do whatever I can to help them relax and turn loose and get comfortable. And whatever I want to do then in the ride is going to go a lot better if I've achieved that blowout first. So we're going to operate here on a loose rein. I can tell she's had a lot of work with the bridle on. Just going to check out her impulsion and speed here on loose rein. Kind of see where we're at. Now, this is made a lot easier for me because I'm in the little indoor arena here. Was raining pretty good a minute ago outside. So it'll be a little bit better test when I get her outside, because if you're in a smaller environment, they're going to have less go. They're going to get less worried. Although some horses are more comfortable outside in an outdoor arena than they are in the indoor where they can't see as much. But for a horse that has had a lot of arena training in the past, the indoor is probably pretty comfortable for her. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and we'll try out a lope here. See what we got. Ooh, there we go. So there she kind of objected to the bridle when I went to steer her at a canter. So I'm just going to bend her down here. Just ask her to settle. And we're fixing to have a really ugly departure there. So let's do a little reset here and try it again. Well, that's kind of wonky. You see she's trying to diving into the middle there. So yeah, she's getting all sorts of wonky here. So we're just going to keep resetting and then try it again. So I can tell she would really like me to manage her more with my reins, but that's not going to help her emotional fitness. So I need to ride her on a loose rein in order to turn over the responsibility of her emotional fitness there. I know I can make her look better and shape her up with the reins, but that's not the point here. There we go. So she kind of figured it out, but again, she was really anticipating me picking her up with those reins. There's that release. You can see she was really anticipating a lot of things there with how pinny-eared she got, and I wasn't really doing a whole lot. I was trying not to touch a whole lot of things. Now, you could look at this and say she's responsive to my cues, but the reality is she's super reactive to everything I'm doing here. So when my leg just barely touches her, she's kind of lurching into the canter. And so I'm just going to get her to be a little bit more comfortable with my cues. So I'm just going to put my legs on her here and just ask her to settle with that. So the rider's got to be able to put their legs on in order to have a conversation with the horse there. So I put my legs on her, not hard, but just kind of closed them on her until she settled there. Okay, and we'll try that again. So actually what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to teach her that me squeezing with my legs, it means put your head down and relax. So I'm squeezing. I'm not trying to teach her a spur stop or anything. I'm just trying to get her to associate my legs coming on with lowering her head. And so right here we're at a standstill. So it obviously doesn't mean stop because we're not going. And I'm just going to wait here for her. Put her head down there, take it off again. And then at this point, I'm going to wait for her to pop her head back up. So my evaluation didn't take very long. Very quickly, we found some things. So she was overreactive to the legs. She didn't understand a canter departure on a loose rein. She only understood it if I had her picked up. And even then, it was just really intense, really fast. So we're going to try to help her get more settled with that. Squeezing my legs here. Very good. That was a much better response. There you can see her decompressing there again, letting down. When they rub their leg like that too, that's them trying to come off of adrenaline. So those are all signs of her trying to relax. Ooh, I like that. There we go. Good. So I think what I'm going to do if I just try to keep cantering, she's just going to get emotional. And I know that she needs to accept me putting my legs on her better. So what I'm going to do right now is work on her yields off my leg at a walk and at a trot, and see if I can't get her to understand what that pressure means a little bit more, and realizing that legs on doesn't just mean forward faster all the time. So I'm going to use one leg at a time, try to get her to understand that it means bend. So leg position 1 for steering the shoulders, position 2 for bending the ribs or side passing, position 3 here for changing leads or yielding the hindquarters. So we're going to go ahead and play with that. There we go. So you can see now she's confused, like, oh, legs didn't go. So she just tries to put a little too much emphasis on everything. Okay, so I'm gonna put this leg on here to mean turn. Good. So the old saying of the more you use your reins, the less they use their brains is really true, especially with a real sensitive horse like this one. And so I'm going to try to not use my reins. And the main thing that I'm going to teach her some yields, but the main thing that she's going to take away from this is thinking more, being more thoughtful about what she does instead of just kind of overcommitting to everything and reacting to it. She just needs to understand pressure a little bit more. You know, a lot of people would think, oh, well, you got spurs on, take those spurs off. That'll help her get more relaxed. But that's not the problem. Horses don't get so bothered because of pressure. They get really bothered when they don't understand pressure. Because again, you could see that when I put my legs on her, she got really bothered. And then now she's not doing anything with it. And I'm squeezing even harder now than I was before. But now she understands that that pressure can mean lower your head and relax. So it's not the pressure that bothers them, it's not understanding it. So we need to clarify a few things with her, get her understanding pressure. So stay tuned for the next video update, and I'll show you what we got fixed up. I want to thank today's sponsor, which is the Horseman's University. It's a learning library that you can go on online right from your home. Watch videos on horse training, on all kinds of different things. Some of them are my own, and some are from my colleagues, Jake Beerbaum and Tick Maynard, and we're even going to have Doug Jordan on there soon. So that's a great thing if you want to learn and get the best quality videos possible. Go on to horsemansuniversity.com and check it out. If you use promo code ROSE Horsemanship, you'll get a 10% off, and we'll see you guys on there.